them know that it is that time. Tell them to join you on 103.7 on your FM dial. Super Jam. Alrighty. And those that are of your friends and neighbors and families that are on Facebook and YouTube, give them a call and let them know that it is that time again. It is time to power up your week. Alrighty. So we're going to take a reading on this morning from Psalm 25. Psalms 25. And we're not going to read the whole
25 or 35.
35. Thank you, yes. Psalm 35. I'm just going to read a few verses for you. Cass, go ahead and just read. And you know, I purposely choose this psalm on today based on what our nation is going through. The world is facing now, and we just want the Lord to be on our side. We just want the Lord to fight for us. We want the Lord to do for us the things that we can't do for ourselves. Go ahead, Cass, and just read a couple of verses there.
All right, Psalms 35, and it says, "Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul.
Well,
Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt.
well, Lord.
Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery,
Well,
and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul.
well,
Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee? Him. False witness did rise up. They laid to my charge things I knew not. They rewarded me evil for good, to the spoiling of my soul.
stop at verse 13.
And we'll pause at 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into mine own bosom.
Oh, Lord. What a word. What a word. What a word for the time. What a word for the time. So if you didn't get a chance, write this psalm down and read it. Read it. It's Psalm 35.
Amen.
All right. So if you're just joining us again, you are live with
God in the Raw Ministries. Power up your week.
Alrighty. So and we want you to write this number down: 561-819-6255. So when it's time to call, you've got that on the tip of your finger. Again, that's 561-819-6255. All right. So let's go after this for a little bit here. All right. Psalm 35. Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that thrive with me, and fight against them that fight against me. So there is a fight, and what I want to encourage us about on today is that this fight has been going on for a long time.
Too long.
Right? Too long, man. Too long. So if you're thinking that we are just now going through turmoils in our life, no, it's from a long. It started in the Garden of Eden, you all. All right, and mankind will have to just fight to survive. But I've got news for you. There is a God that fights for those that cry unto him. He said a broken and a contrite heart
He will not
he will
despise.
not despise. God will not turn his back upon the cry of his people. So we want to make sure that we are focused, our attention is being focused in the right mission. Prayer work.
Yes, it
Okay,
does.
so even if you're going up to fight, you want to be sure that you got prayer on your side.
Yes.
You want to be sure that your prayer is one of your weapons.
The ultimate weapon.
Yes, because a lot of times people think that only if I pray, prayer alone just not going to fix things. All right, you can't just pray and put your hand at your side, because prayer and faith goes hand in hand. So when you pray, you've got to believe that what you pray for, that you have received it. And if you believe that you receive it, then you're going to get up and you're going to get into action mode. Do you understand how that works? Prayer and faith. Because if you pray and you don't believe that your prayers are heard, nothing get done. All right, I want for you to understand that on today. So for those of us that are protesting in this time, I want to say to you, pray first, and then go after it. All right, pray first and then get up and do something about it. And the song says, for the Lord is on my side, things are ready better. And with confidence. So we're going to ask the Lord to plead our cause. All right, we're going to ask the Lord to take hold of our shield and buckler and stand up for our help. All right, you know, when it was time for the children of Israel to take Jericho, the Lord said, you don't have to lift up a sword now. Come on, all you got to do, I want for you to march around it. March around it. And when I bid you shout, shout. So there is a time to pray, there's a time to march, and there's a time to shout.
Come on now.
So let me tell you all something out there. You can't just keep marching, all right? You got to pray, and you got to listen, and you got to know when to shout. And I do believe that the walls of racism is going to come crashing down.
Amen.
All right? But somebody got to be praying. And I'm telling you, my part, the part that I'm playing in this time is praying. I am praying, all right? And I'm telling you, and I know that people are marching, and I know that some are shouting, but you got to just know when to march and be still. And when it's time to shout, together we shout and watch the walls come crumbling down. You got to trust in God, man. You got to trust in God. He said, draw out also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. So let me tell you something. God has been fighting for people from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right? And God has some spears. Yes, he does. Yeah, and God knows how to stop the way of those that are persecuting the people of God.
Amen.
Because we are all God's children. All right? All right. So he said, persecute them. And say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. So I want to say to you out there, Radio Land, for those of you that are panicking, for those of you, okay, for those of you that are panicking in this time, I want you to be able to say this: the Lord is my salvation.
Yes.
The Lord is my salvation. The Lord
Indeed, He is my salvation.
You've got to say it until you believe it. You've got to say it until it becomes a part of you. The Lord is my salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul, and let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let me tell you something. When your trust is in the Lord, they'll come after you and be confused.
Brought down low.
Let me tell you what the power of prayer will do. And I want to say to those of you that are listening to us right now, I want you to have conversation in your home with your family, with your children. Let me tell you something. I want to share this with you because last week I started as a pastor reaching out, having one-on-one with families within the organization. All right, and it's just amazing to know that children are hurting. They're watching the news, they see what's happening, and they are afraid and they are hurting. So I want to say to those of you parents out there, please don't be afraid to talk with your children. Find out what they think. Have conversation with them. Talk to them about what is happening in the world today, and don't believe that they are too young, because when I had this meeting, I was blown away with the response that I'm getting from young people. I'm talking about from age 7, a 10-year-old, a 13-year-old. They are scared.
Anybody would be.
They are scared. They are scared for their brothers. They are scared for their fathers. And you know, it's so funny. I talk to families that have all boys. They are afraid. What do I say to my son? What do you my son is sitting right here on my right, you know, and even though he's an adult, I have my husband on my left. you know, it's real.
Yeah.
People is real. We can no longer hide from what is happening. And I just want to say to you, have this conversation, and also bring prayer in your home, and allow yourself to believe and know that God is our salvation, and God can confuse and confound those that fight against you without cause. We're talking about people that is coming after you without cause. He said, let their way be dark and slippery.
That's right.
And let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause they have hid for me their net in a pit. So their derricks that are being set up, but in the name of the Lord,
yes,
God is going to cause their ways to become dark and slippery. So I want for you, amidst the protests that we're doing, and amidst the shouting that we are doing, don't forget to put your trust in the Lord, because without God in the midst of everything, our fight will be in vain. All right, but I have hope. I have hope. I was not born in America, but I am a citizen of this land, and I do care. My children are Americans, and I care, and the world care. And you see that nations are just rising up, and everybody's coming together now. So, you know, it's out of evil come forth good. If you're feeling afraid today, if you're feeling as though you want a platform to be able to just say something, we're here. Give us a call, man. Give us a call. We want to hear from you on today. 561-819-6255. Any father out there that is afraid, any mother out there that is afraid, sons that are afraid, you just want to call, and you know, I would love to pray with your family today. Pray for protection, because let me tell you something, man. When the enemy come up against us, the Lord will raise up a mighty standard against him. When the enemy come up against us like a flood, the Lord will lift up a standard. All right, so I know the power of prayer. So give us a call in studio on this morning, 561-819-6255. Again,
561-819-6255.
All right, and that
561-819-6255.
You know, it's a okay. All right.
819-6255.
It's so funny that my engineer Charmane, we went somewhere this last week to take care of some business, and so the guy sat there in front of us, and so he sang 561. He's like 561. We look at each other like we wanted to say 819-6255. So I'm like, I said to Charmane, I said, did you get that?
It sticks.
So the guy's looking at us like, what? Like, okay, so we had to sing our number to say, that's what just happened just now, you know. So
Anyway,
anyway,
he was trying to sing the jingle.
you know. So go ahead and give us a call because we would love to hear from you on this morning. All right, we want to just free up the line for a little bit, just to dialogue with you. And you know, the question is, if you can do something and you do nothing, then you didn't support the cause.
That's right.
You understand me? I'm in support of the cause that racism must die. All right, racism is an infectious disease that has to die.
Would you say it's a spirit?
It is a spirit indeed, and we curse that spirit.
My God.
We loose that spirit. We bind up that spirit in Yeshua's name. Amen. We cast it out. All right. If you're listening to me, you got that spirit inside of you. Loose.
Holy Ghost.
In Yeshua's name, I loose it from your very gene.
That's right.
You know, and you're
We
absolutely right.
cripple its powers.
Yes, because let me tell you something. We were created in love, man.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, love prevails against all
Amen.
odds. So please give us a call. Give us a call, and don't just sit there. If you're feeling afraid, you don't have to put your name out there. Just call and let's talk. All right. Call and let's talk. Especially for those that have not been going out. You're not really out there. You're just watching the news. You're just listening as to what is happening. But here now you have an opportunity. Tell us how you feel. We want to hear how you feel because this situation, the death of George Floyd, has just knocked Corona out of the way. And nobody's talking about Corona. Nobody even care about Corona right now. You know, people taking off their mask, and I'm not encouraging that. That you should protect yourself at all costs and use wisdom and be extremely careful. But the bottom line is that people put on their boxing glove and say, listen,
Enough is
Corona
enough.
or no Corona, enough is enough, and we're going to stand up.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, we are going to stand up because Black Lives Matters. And you know, it's so funny that when this slogan first came out, that Black Lives Matter, I preach about all lives matter. All lives matters, and everybody need to understand that all lives matter. All right, so here we go. We're getting a call, and just want to hear what this caller had to say. Good morning, caller. You are live with God in the Raw Ministries. Power up your week. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. You're live with God in... Yes, you are live with God in the Raw Ministries. Power up your week.
How are you guys?
Good morning. We're doing well. How are you?
I'm well.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yes, we got to put our trust in Him, and thank you for hosting and for sharing that on this morning. But let me ask you this: so you have your husband, are you? Would you say that based on what has happened in the past couple of weeks with George, that you are now even more shaken up when your husband go through that door?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Corrupt. And I believe, and you know what is so sad? What is so sad about all of this is that you actually do have good cops out there. That is what is so sad about this. And now, I believe when people look at cops, they look at all cops now as being evil, or you're out to get me. You understand me?
I don't think it's just the cops that are singular though. I think it's just a system at large.
It's
Like you
just-
can have good cops, but it's a bad system. Period.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say though. So now the good cops are still feeling the blunt of this. I don't know what they're going to do, but these evil cops need to be weeded out. You know, and you know and I tell you one of the things that amazes me about all of this is that even though these cops know that they're on video right now, that they're being during the protest, they can't help themselves but to display exactly how they behave even when a camera is not on them. If a camera is on you and you can still abuse somebody, then what do you do when there's no camera?
Well, I kind of just want to butt in a little bit because I saw something in my feeds. It was a video that was streaming with a bunch of officers that basically were being interviewed, and they were sharing that it's not necessarily their desire to do the things that are being done, but they have to answer to a hierarchy that's telling them that these are the people that you should be profiling. This is the way that you should be handling them. So like I said, it's a messed up system. It's a system that's rigged or basically just corrupt. So I wouldn't it's fixed to create oppression to people of our color.
And it needs to go.
You're right. So I wouldn't necessarily be individualizing cops because I know people that are in that profession in law enforcement, and I know them to be decent, upstanding people. But if you have somebody to answer to, you have somebody to answer to, you know. So that's the sad part.
Wow. Well.
That's it.
Reform. All right, and so don't go anywhere there, co-host. If you're just joining us, you are live with God in the Raw Ministries. Power up your week, and we want to just talk just a little bit about our fears, and we're opening our lines that you can call us if you are afraid and you just even want to share. Let's not even use the word if you're afraid. If you are concerned.
All right.
If you are concerned, because we all should be concerned in this time. And if you missed the psalm that I read that earlier on this morning, I want for you to go back and read that psalm and find some consolation in it. that prayer does work, and people oppressing and fighting against people has been a long time ago.
It's not just today.
And you know, and I don't even know, man. I wonder to myself if this will ever cease, because you know there's this thorn in Jamaica. I know it's called kasha. All right, it's called kasha. Listen, and kasha is actually the right term. It's something you can look it up. And let me tell you something. The only way to kill that thing, you gotta light it on fire. If it ever take over your field, you can't plant anything. Don't think you can chop it down and think that you can go there and try to cultivate. You gotta burn it out, and when you burn it out, you gotta turn around. You gotta dig it up from the root.
And that is the issue.
You understand what I'm saying?
About generation of hatred.
So you might be cutting it down, but it keeps springing.
Because this spirit is not. It's from yesteryears.
Okay. So you know, I'm telling you, man, the thing is real. But I want to say to black folks that you have to regroup. You've got to work together. You got to make some changes. You've got to support each other, and you know, just be there and stand strong. And one thing I do know, you know, my hope really is in the fact that I know that there is a king, and his name is called Yeshua. And I know that he will come to run planet Earth. And there will be no corruption in his system. But you know, until he comes, we've got to survive here. So the question is, what are we going to do to survive? We've got to pray, and like the psalm says on this morning, let them be confounded and be put to shame that seek after my soul. And you know, other people come for good. It's a shame that this man's life is literally impacting the world. You know, because
we had enough.
Because all along, all you heard is that, oh, this person got killed by the cops, but nobody have seen it from start to finish.
That's right.
Nobody have seen it from start to finish. Oh God!
And not only that, I don't think it's just about I think there are many. I think that there are many factors to this. It's not necessarily his life. It's his death, and I think that it has to do with the fact that it's been so many occurrences. It's not just about Floyd. Because, I mean, I have to tell you guys the truth. I've wet day in and day out like Floyd was my dad. Like, I've had migraines over the situation. And even as a believer, I've felt the feelings of rage overcome me even in this time about this. You know, I've been driving, you know, and when I see an officer's vehicle, I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so many different things. I have to be praying. I have to be praying. I'm just like, God, control my heart, because this don't feel right. I know this ain't right, but I understand that it's natural. It's natural to feel upset. It's natural to feel overwhelmed. It's natural to come in contact with fear. But I'm trying to find a balance. I'm just like, sweet peace, Jesus, sweet peace. I need peace, because you find yourself. I think it's sad that we should, as blacks, we should be finding ourselves hyperventilating if we see an officer, knowing that you're not a criminal, you haven't done anything but be black. Well, Breonna Taylor is facts that it doesn't have to just be
male.
A male. It's just if you black. Wow. Wow. Really is.
If you're just joining us, you are live with God in the Raw Ministries.
Power up your week.
And we're talking about overcoming our fears in this time, in this crucial time. Alrighty, and we are powering up on Psalm 35 that the Lord is our salvation. The Lord is our salvation. We're encouraging our people out there to pray. We want to hear from you. Call us 561-819-6255. Again, the number to call is 561-819-6255. Let's talk. Alrighty, and listen, I'm gonna be switching zone here in a little bit, but I just want to let our voice be heard. That we are upset, we are angry, and we are saying that a change has got to come, and a change needs to happen now. Enough is enough.
Not only are we saying enough is enough, I think that,
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Yes, hold that thought. Hold on, Doreen. Good morning, caller. Hold the line, please. Good morning, caller. Hold the line, please. Yes, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm listening to your program, and it really touches me so much. I'm happy to know that there's somebody else out there that sees our pain and share our concerns
Yes.
as Christians in this time. Because a lot of Christians feel like, we shouldn't be upset, we shouldn't be hurt, just leave it alone, pray about it, it'll go away. But we have to really make an effort to
Yes.
stand up for justice. I
Yes.
have a black son, and if I tell you my story for over the years that you've gotten pulled over, the police has pulled out a gun in the back of his head, just because he's driving black. I've seen those drugs and he's gone, and he's not a bad kid. He doesn't do drugs and he doesn't, do wrong things. Now he's grown up and he has a license firearm, and I worry for him because I remember he got pulled over once and he told the cop that I have a license firearm, and he had to make sure that he had to come off the car because he was making sure that he had every moment he couldn't touch anything. And he already had that firearm because he didn't want to control his car and think that,
Wow.
Somebody on the program said something that was so profound. This is just like this.
Yes.
I have been in this country for almost 30 years. And I have seen black cops that pull over black kids and treat them bad. Even in the time with the protest, you see black cops out there with white cops roughing up protesters.
Yes. Well, oh my God.
That's the system.
Wow. Wow. Well,
police officer go out there and don't have his uniform on, a white cop will pull him over and treat him just as bad as everybody.
Well, I'm just gonna unleash verse 4 again, caller. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul, and let them be turned back and put to confusion that devise my hurt. It's just a shame. It really is a shame, and I thank you for calling and sharing with us. But I have some other people I have to get to, and I just want to say to you, keep on praying and don't be fooled that Christians, because people are believers, are saying that we don't have emotions. We have emotions. I'm a pastor, and yes, I am mad. I'm a pastor, and yes, I cried. I cried as though that was my brother. All right. So, and I have a son, and I have a husband, and I have to be covering them and worried about them when they go through the door. Because guess what? Life is real, honey. I'm not yet in my celestial body. I'm still in this mortal body. Okay. God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Amen.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, He will. God bless you.
Take care.
You're most welcome. Blessings. Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding your line with God in the Raw Ministries. Power up your week and share your thought with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, it was.
Amen.
Okay. Wow. 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 Enjoying the service. Wow. Wow. God be praised. Wow. Well, we're just glad that we're able to touch lives yesterday. Like I said again, out of evil come forth good, huh? So yeah, thank you. Go ahead. It really was. The anointing was real. Wow. Yes. Thank you, sis.
Wow.
God be praised. I'm
Thank
happy.
you so much. God bless you.
God bless you, sis. God bless you, and we're happy that you had an opportunity to enjoy the service
And to share
in
it.
spite of,
Yes.
and just to be able to share it with others. That was a blessing. Yes. Yes. You're most welcome. God bless you.
Blessings to you.
We love you. Yes, man. We love you. We love your bunches, sis, and we'll continue to pray for you. All right. God bless. And thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Same to you. Love you too, honey. Yes, God be magnified. So
In the meantime, like right before you comment on that, I just want us to acknowledge that we understand that our Facebook and YouTube family can't hear our calls for some reason. They're saying it's very low, so to them it sounds like we're speaking to ourselves. So we're working on that. We're working on that, you guys. So bear with us. Bear with us.
all right.
I just wanted to share this quick point if I could. I remember in 2008, I almost became a victim. I remember driving my sister's car. You and Dad had just broadcasted her BMW, and I was in the car with my cousins, and at the time we were on the way to the hairdresser to pick up my girlfriend at the time, and went to a neighborhood, stopped at the stop sign, and continued to drive, and all I heard was whoop, and I pulled over, and the officer used his flashlight, and I promise you, he was one last hit from breaking the window. Bam, 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 and it was just like, whose car is this? And I was just like, it's my sister's car. License and registration. I mean, you must know, I was startled. I didn't even know where to find anything at all. I was 16, and I'm just like, you know what, sir, and I eventually found everything, and I gave it to him, and he was trying to find every reason to give me a ticket, and I'm like, sir, I made a full stop, you know. And when he realized that he couldn't give me a ticket for that, then he asked, why is there a shirt, you know, covering the back window? And of course I had my church closed because we were actually going to church for a youth weekend, and there were so many, it was about 4 of us in the car, and he wanted everybody to come out, and I said, we're not coming out. And I realized then he went to call 2 other officers, and when
So he called back up?
He called for backup, and when I realized what was happening, you know, I decided to call someone who was a big brother, and I said,
A big brother that works in law enforcement.
correct. And I called him, and I'm like, listen, I won't recall his name, like I would say Jay. I'm like, listen, you've been pulled over, and I need your help. And I gave the officer the phone, and it just so happened that the black officer, the black backup that was there, knew my big brother, who was in law enforcement. And then he was like, yo, like, what are you guys doing? Like, these are church boys. They are going to church. Like, I'm going to church with them tonight. Like, you're holding them up. And at the time, I was to moderate the service, so now I'm going to be late. And he's just like, oh, man, we sorry, man. We ain't mean no harm.
We didn't know you know him.
We didn't know you know him. Everything's cool, man. You just go ahead and do what you do. I'm just like, what? Do what you do? Like, what is that?
You know, and all of a sudden you were good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I would like
So I'm sorry to cut you, Mom, but I want to point out that in Peter's story, because, all right, so you were profiled for driving a high-class vehicle.
Correct.
With 3 other black males in the vehicle, so
Correct.
that just didn't look right, right? Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't look right.
Whose car is it? Which would mean that
Sad.
I was, you know, stealing a car. I stole a car.
Or maybe you know, you're not supposed to drive that.
Correct.
But let me, you know, a story I would love for you to tell is he was on his way to school, when you were on your way to school, and got pulled over, and when the cop. Go ahead and tell that story.
So I was on my way to school. I wasn't on my way to school. I was actually on my way to the airport. I was on my way to Miami Airport.
Oh, okay.
To pick up a friend. No, I was on my way to Miami Airport to pick up a friend, and so I was driving, and I realized that the state trooper was just following me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm watching.
Oh, this story is good.
I'm watching you, watching me. Okay, so I'm just driving, and I'm doing like 70, and I'm making sure I'm not going over 70 because I don't want to hear nothing from you, sir. And as soon as I'm getting ready to turn onto what Jamaicans would call Airport Road.
Okay.
So as soon as I get ready to go on Airport Road, you know, I'm exiting, and I hear whoa, and I just, from I was a kid, just never really took well to cops. I just no. So
got nervous.
yeah, and I'm just like, Lord, here we go. I'm just gonna get in trouble right now. Cause I could just hear my mom like, what did you do this time? I'm just like, Lord, help us, Jesus. So anyways, I get pulled over, license and registration. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to the airport to pick up a friend. I'm late. Oh, this is a nice car you got here. I said, yes, sir. Is it your car? Yes, sir. This is my car. And once again, being profiled, a black young guy driving a BMW. It's just, you shouldn't be doing that, you know. and I gave him my license, and he's like, I'll be back. I said, okay. I said, all right, God, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm just asking you to cover me under your blood. And I had FaceTime, I had Facebook up, and I was getting ready to press go live if I realized that anything was gonna get serious, and put the phone on the floor so that he would know that I'm recording. He comes back and he goes, Mr. Peart? I said, yes. He says, your dad is a minister. I said, yes. He says, I am so sorry. He was like, listen, don't tell your dad that this happened. He says, I know your dad is our boss. And he, matter of fact, he run Fort Lauderdale. And he was like, man, listen, I'm so sorry. As a matter of fact,
don't tell him I pulled you over.
Yeah. Minister,
but not minister.
But he thought,
and don't work in law enforcement.
Correct.
Okay.
So he was talking about a Bishop Peart that's down south, who
we don't know,
who I've never met, have always heard about him.
Okay.
And
so stick a pin right there, Peter. Stick a pin right there, Peter.
Let them be confounded.
Let them get confounded
and put to shame that seek after my soul.
And verse 3 of Psalm 35 says, draw out also the spear and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation.
Yeah.
So that God just show up and be your salvation.
I told him, I said, listen, I'm coming straight from church, which I was. It was a Sunday. I was coming from church. So I realized that there is a guy who's Bishop here down south, and he's some chief of police, and he's his boss. And I just looked, and when I went home and I told my parents, they cracked up.
Yeah,
we did crack.
Yeah,
and I've always heard that I look like this guy. Everywhere I go, I hear, "Are you Bishop Peart's son?" And I'm like, "No."
All right. Yes, you are. You are.
Bishop Peart's son.
Bishop Peart's son.
Just not that Bishop Peart.
So I just want to say to Radio Land out there, and to all believers out there, all right. Stop sitting on the sideline and saying that this is not our fight.
It is our fight.
This is our fight.
I believe we need to come together as the body of Christ and put this under fire.
Put this under fire.
Let's get on our knees.
Protest. Let's take a knee.
Let's do a spiritual protest. Because I mean, we got people out there that's walking the streets and doing this thing, and Black Lives Matter and all that. And I support that, the peaceful protest. I'm not supporting the looting and the rioting and all that, but I do understand it. You understand what I'm saying? But let us fight this spiritual battle. It's a spiritual warfare.
It is.
Let's fight it.
Let's